Yellow? Yellow? Are you there? Hello? Hola, 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 ¿cómo están? Espero que ustedes estén bien. Hope everybody is doing well today. So guys, this video right here is a continuation of the lessons on the verb tener, but we're going to add to it just a little bit. So we've learned some of the expressions with tener, but look right here. Now we're going to learn how to express to have to. So I mentioned this in class the other day, but perhaps I went over it a little bit quickly, so I want to go back over it so you'd have a chance to kind of get a little bit extra practice with it, okay? So whenever in Spanish I want to imply that there's some kind of obligation, something I have to do, it's almost like a must. In Spanish I can indicate that by simply using que after tener. And so that's going to come across in Spanish as to have to. For example, to have to do something. So I mentioned in class that there's a neat little formula we have in Spanish. Tener, que, and the infinitive. Infinitive. So if I kind of want to make this look more like a formula, let me put a little plus sign in there. Tener plus que plus an infinitive. And what's an infinitive? Remember, infinitive is just a verb that has not been changed. It's unconjugated. You just leave it alone. All right? So we've got tener, que plus infinitive. To have to do and then something, whatever that something might be. So if I would say that Rosa tiene que trabajar hoy. Rosa tiene que trabajar hoy. Rosa has to work today. So what I am saying in Spanish is not that Rosa has a job. I am saying that she has to work today. So that is implying some sense of obligation, some requirement, something that Rosa has to do. And what you'll notice, guys, is that I simply conjugated, or I simply changed the verb tener for Rosa. Rosa tiene. And you just have to bring on down that que whenever you're trying to express to have to. The que really doesn't translate exactly in English, but in Spanish it comes across, it communicates a sense of obligation. So when a Hispanic hears you say tener que, in their minds, because they're used to speaking the language, it's just going to be obvious that what you're getting ready to say is something that requires some sense of obligation, something that has to be done. So, Rosa tiene que, and then trabajar hoy. So if I would literally translate this in English, it would be Rosa has to work today. In English that would make we'd understand it. It would just sound very awkward. It sound redundant. But in Spanish, we have to have it, okay? So this sentence would be completely incorrect without the que. If you say that Rosa tiene trabajar hoy, you would be understood in Spanish, but it would just sound ugly. It wouldn't be grammatically correct. So you want to make sure that when you're trying to indicate that someone has to do something, that you're using the correct form of tener plus que and then an infinitive after it. Folks, I'm going to tell you that after tener que, if you look at your formula up here, after tener que, you're always going to use an infinitive, because you wouldn't say in English something like, I have to the pizza. She has to the car. She has to what? I have to what? So you have to have a verb after that que, so you'll know what it is that you or someone else has to do. Okay? So Rosa tiene que trabajar. Yo tengo que comer ahora. Let's say that I'm getting sick on my stomach. I need to eat something, because if I don't, I'm just going to feel very nauseated. So, yo tengo que comer ahora. I have to eat right now. Yo tengo que comer ahora. Okay? So, This is how we use this formula, tener plus que plus infinitive, and I cannot emphasize enough, guys, that you've got to have that infinitive with it, okay? So use that infinitive. And following along with this same type of pattern, there's another expression that we can use in Spanish. It still uses tener, okay? It's still using tener, and it is tener más ganas más de más infinitivo. All right, or infinitive. So tener plus ganas plus de plus an infinitive. So folks, when you are using this expression, you're going to use each of those elements, okay? So this is going to come across in Spanish as to feel like doing something. And you might say, but Mr. Lee, tener means to have. I know it means to have, just accept that in English it comes across as meaning to feel like doing something, okay? Don't try to change things we can't change. All right, so tener ganas de. So watch this. Yo tengo ganas de ir a la playa. Yo tengo ganas de ir a la playa. So I feel like going to the beach. You see, I've got the correct form of tengo because yo with the verb tener is tengo. I just bring on down ganas. I bring on down de. Okay, so that comes across as I feel like. Now, what do I feel like doing? Well, what you feel like doing is communicated through that infinitive. And that infinitive in this case is ir, which means to go. So I feel like going, and then a la playa, to the beach. So you can see, guys, how this is used in a similar way to tener que. Again, you just have to remember, you've got to use each of the elements in the formula that I gave you, and you have to use the infinitive with it. Okay? Any questions? I guess if you have them, you can ask me, but I'm not going to hear you, right? Okay, so don't stress. Just look over this stuff and follow these simple rules that I've given you, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.